Hi guys, welcome to the Full Time Devils podcast. I'm Adam Mckola. Today I am joined by Andy Tate, Jay Motty, and Gareth Hart. What were we calling him earlier? Thespian.
A thespian. You're a thespian, aren't you?
Yeah,
and these lot didn't even know what thespian meant.
I didn't know. I thought he was a new sexual
Tell him what a
orientation.
thespian is.
Rapper? I don't know.
Seriously.
He's an actor.
He's an actor.
He is, yeah. What you been in, Gaz?
What have I been in?
People at home?
Well, I only graduated in the summer, but I've had some decent auditions and stuff. Currently writing my own mockumentary
Nice.
on amateur football.
Is it like People Just Do Nothing kind of thing?
I'll
Mockumentary.
pretty much, yeah. I'll be doing a lot of nothing, or a lot of sausage rolls and steak bakes and stuff.
Sounds like
Any of your stuff going to go on BBC Three or something like that?
I wish. I don't know. I've applied for bursaries and stuff, but we'll see what happens.
If not, it'll be on youtube.com/fulltimedevils. Don't you worry about that. Thank you for joining us today, Gareth. Pleasure to have you on the show. There's so much to talk about. International break usually means it's a quiet one. But in the space of 12 hours, it's all absolutely kicked off. Now, not necessarily with Man United, although it does relate to United a little bit. Jose Mourinho is now Tottenham manager. Repeat that again. Jose Mourinho is now Tottenham manager. Did anyone see this coming?
When they sacked him, I thought, yeah, I could see it, but I didn't expect it this fast. I think from what I've heard this morning, this was planned because Pochettino was probably getting ready for the weekend, and in Premier League, this has been done behind his back, and that's a bit snidey from Lever.
I think that happens to everyone, though, doesn't it? I mean, we appointed Mourinho behind Van Gaal's back, so we can't.
I know.
At least we waited till the end, though. Rather than
At least we won a trophy. You give the guys glory, don't you?
That's worse.
Thanks for winning that. Off you go. Don't bother getting your feet settled there because you've got P45s waiting for you.
I heard the talk,
and
I thought no chance he goes to Spurs. I thought Arsenal may be a little bit more likely, but no chance he goes to Spurs. I just couldn't, because when you read, I was reading like. This isn't even like a plug for them. Like, this is a free one today. We were doing the Athletic. I was reading the Athletic article that they did in October, the start of October, and they kind of broke it down. What were the issues at Spurs? The players, Levy, and Poch. And when you read all of that and the different layers, and you thought most of the players are the players that he brought in his first 2 years, and a lot of them their heads are elsewhere. They're looking to leave. They're looking to go. He hasn't been able to refresh the squad. And then you look at the issues with Levy, the lack of spending, you have to create younger players, train them up, sell them off, these kind of things. The transfer budgets. Only last season did Poch get to spend a vast amount of money. He's kind of been working off a small net spend for his whole time there. And he just doesn't seem like the job that is made for Mourinho. I think he could get a short-term lift out of them because these are players that are in their prime years, maybe.
They're peaking now.
These are in their prime years, and I can see him going there and taking the domestic cups more seriously than Poch did, and maybe winning one of those. But can you see him being a long-term success? The success that we wanted out of him?
No.
I think there's probably Spurs fans now doing exactly what me and you were doing a few years ago, going, it's probably going to be a short-term thing, but you never know. And in those few years, you can get some success out of him. My thing with Mourinho when he came to United was, I thought we all said it, didn't we? He'll be here for 3 years tops. But in those 3 years, hopefully we'll get a title out of him. And that didn't really happen. We got some trophies out of him. And I think Spurs fans might think the same. If he spends 3 years at Tottenham, but he wins a trophy, because let's not forget, they've not won a trophy for, 10, 11 years, is it?
League Cup 1999.
No, didn't we win in 2008 or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. They beat Chelsea, 2008.
I'm sure they did.
That was it. And we won it the following season.
Well, that's what I mean. You've had one trophy.
Was that Juan de Ramos?
Yeah, I think it was, mate. Yeah, good shout, yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, it was one day, Ramos, yeah.
What a random manager to win a trophy for Spurs.
Berbatov played in that final as well.
Yeah.
I think he scored the pelter.
Yeah, he might have done. Yeah, you're right, it was Chelsea. But that's what I mean. Like, what was that, 11 years ago? And the League Cup, no respect to it. But it's not like the greatest trophy. So that's all they've had for like 20 years or whatever. So if he comes in and wins, say, the FA Cup, and then he leaves next season, they'll probably be happy.
Is Mourinho... Now, listen to the question. Come to you first, Gareth. You can proper get to know. The people at home will proper get to know more about you with the answer from this one. You'll either be getting loads of abuse or loads of love. Is Mourinho currently a better manager than Pochettino? Currently.
Well, he's the one with the job. So, if you are, depends how you are swing it. No, but I think
if you had a football club,
I think it depends on a team, and I think when you look at Spurs now, you go, you've got some older heads, you've got some experienced players, and somebody like Mourinho could probably do something with experienced players. But I then think, well, I think, especially with the introduction of like Ryan Sessegnon and stuff like that, that's definitely a Pochettino sort of thing, I think it depends on the squad. I think it depends on where they want to go. Like you said, if you can come in and win an FA Cup just off the back of the players that you've got, you sort of like, well, yeah, he's the better man for it. If you want somebody to come in, go, yeah, here's a bit of silverware and here's a bit of clout, Mourinho's a great choice.
I think a lot of it depends on as well, like, does Eriksen stay? Alderweireld now stay? Do a lot of these players now turn around and say, I'm staying, and then he doesn't need to replace? Because if he needs to replace a lot of these players, he's not getting the funds to do it.
No.
Especially when you're looking at Eriksen might be going on a free, Alderweireld might be going on a free.
I thought about this morning. Not a lot of players, not a lot of people think about it this way. I think there's a lot of players that will come. Take Eriksen, for example, that will come to a team like Tottenham and go, I want to be the guy at Tottenham. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be Tottenham, but that's where he's gone. He's gone, I want to be the bloke at Tottenham that everyone goes, oh, I want him from Tottenham. And I don't think people talk about that. I think people go, either you want to play for the manager or you want to play for the club or play for the money. But I don't think anyone goes, I want to be a guy at a club that people go, yeah, all right then. We'll take you because you've made yourself the biggest of
a big fish in a small pond, basically.
Yeah, so, and I think that's what Eriksen did. And then to a certain extent, I think now he's going, well, hang on a minute, we've had him for 5 years. We're going, is this going anywhere? Am I going to be here when we do something with this squad?
I think a lot of it as well is weird because you look at the issues with this Spurs squad, a lot of them seem overworked, tired. They've been playing football consistently for 5-6 years.
And
now they've got Mourinho as manager.
They peaked
like
last
it's
season.
nuts.
Yeah.
Like
they pushed everything into the Champions League, didn't they? And they were, like, to be fair, in that Champions League final, they were okay. They had some decent spells in the match. They peaked and that's it. They've gone down.
I think the thing with the Champions League final, which annoyed me, because
should Poch had won a trophy with that team?
Yes,
FA Cup, because they were beating us.
Let's not forget, when we played them in the semi-final. Even like when they did they score first in the semi-final? Dele Alli won it. But I didn't have the belief.
Never dance against United at Wembley.
I just thought, we'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? And I always thought Pochettino had that little bit of something in him where he couldn't quite get over the line there. Like you say, in the Champions League final, I know you're giving him credit. I don't give him any credit. I didn't think they turned up in that final.
I know he made
smacked to me of us against Barca in 2009.
He made a big mistake.
They were there and it was like, we're there. And they just, like, Scouse has got the early goal. Harry Kane shouldn't have played. And it was a shit game for starters.
He didn't play a player in the semi-final, did he?
Yeah,
he did in the final.
I didn't for 1 minute think Spurs are going to get something out of this game. I just thought, I was like, I started watching it, turned it off.
I didn't watch it.
I was like, well, I started watching it, they got a goal, turned it off, and then curiosity got the better of me, and I turned it back on just in time to see Origi get the
I was
second.
in New York for the AJ Ruiz fight, and
that.
I went to sleep.
I wish I had not bothered.
Everyone went to watch the game, and I was like, use that carry on, I'm going to go sleep, I'll meet you in a bit. Fresh.
You got two things with Pochettino and Mourinho. Pochettino promotes youth as well. He will encourage young players.
I love the way you call him Pochettino.
Well, Poch. Anyway, I've said it.
No, not Chris.
Poch. He what you call it. He encourages youth development, and he's brought on. He can spot players, but with Mourinho, it's the way he treated Marcus Rashford. You know what I mean? And the younger players,
to be fair, Marcus Rashford played an awful lot of football for him.
Is that not the time now though, where they might need someone like a Mourinho?
I think some of the players need a Mourinho in terms of the winning mentality. But if he hasn't changed,
he won't change.
It's a wrap.
But you have to think
it's a wrap. If he hasn't changed, it's a wrap. He's not going to be there more than 18 months.
If Mourinho takes charge of that Spurs team last season, he wins something. I think.
Well, I said this season, their goal is just to get in the Champions League next season. Maybe a trophy this season. After that, who knows? Is he going to get the funding? And they've got this massive new stadium to pay for.
You've got to be clever with it, haven't you? You've got to go, if he's coming in, we want him to win a trophy and do one.
Yeah, but Danny Levy will pay for this stadium, and if United whack in a £200 million bid for Harry Kane, he'll take it. But will Harry Kane leave Spurs?
Nah, not now Mourinho is there. We've got, as well, Spurs United, December the 4th. So it's like 2 weeks. How long away?
Midweek, innit?
I cannot wait for that game. Probably going to lose 1-0. But we lost 3-0 against them under Jose, so it's probably be an improvement. How do you feel about... Mourinho has been given a good reception at Old Trafford recently. Right. And even from me, someone that thought that he needed to be sacked at the end, now that he's gone, I'll remember the good times rather than... It's like with Van Gaal, I remember the good times now. And like, I will applaud him before the game, but during the game, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
it's how he conducts
himself.
himself.
How do you feel, like, with him rocking? Like, do you feel a connection to him, whereas you can't stand him being a Spurs manager now? Or is it because it's Spurs, you just don't give a shit?
Not interested. He had these...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only Spurs.
It's not rivals, is it? This isn't like he's gone to City or Liverpool or Leeds. You know, Spurs have always been... I know that you're right, they beat us last season, but they've almost been a team that we've always done well against, haven't we? And they've never really been a threat to us, or when we were winning things, they weren't challenging. And now, when they've been challenging, we've not been in the mix. So, I don't, you know, I'm with you with Mourinho. I respect what he did, and, you know, we were talking earlier, I said Stockholm was a great night. And I had small interactions with him when I was a journalist, and I always got on with him. Not many. But like, he took the piss out of me once for being bald and stuff like that. It was all right.
Saw pep in you.
Yeah. No, they probably kicked off me. Sort of pep in me. But so I never really had an issue with him. So I always sort of had a little bit of a soft spot for him. But you know, I'm not going to be like chanting his name or anything stupid like that. You know what I mean? He won us a few trophies. It didn't work out. He moved on.
I think he had a respect for United as well. Maybe not Ed Wood and the Glazers, but for the fans, and because we did, like, even if outside of the match, our opinions on him were the football's not great. His man management's not good. But inside the ground, we were always with him.
Yeah, but it was after the Sevilla game, wasn't it? What he said after the press conference.
That was a turning point for
that was a turning point with the fans.
Has he now found a club where he can't, you know,
can't piss off the fans?
No, he can, because he is bigger than them. He's never going to be bigger than Man United. They are the underdogs. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like he fits in with more of an underdog?
Look at his clubs. Real Madrid players turned out. Chelsea champions turned out. Manchester United turned on the board, turned on the players out. Like I say.
Do you know what I think Mourinho?
Short-term marriage.
I think he'll clash with Levy.
Do you know what I think he failed to do at United and towards the end at Chelsea? What he's always been really good at was sort of building that siege mentality. Fergie used to do it, and Mourinho did it when he took over at Chelsea first time round. It was us them against the world, and it worked. When he took over at Real Madrid, it was everyone loves Barca. The referees love Barca. It's us against Barca, and it worked. You know, he won La Liga. Same when he went to Inter, he managed to get that siege mentality, and it worked. And his second time at Chelsea for a little spell, it worked. He sort of did it a little bit at United, but then he started taking on everyone, and it stopped being us against the world and became me against everyone.
Him against us.
Yeah, and it did. And you had your hardcore, especially away fans who backed him and were with him, but a lot of the fans turned on him. He started slagging off like the younger players and things like that, in a way, saying, you know, this is what I'm stuck with, they're not up to it and all the rest of it. And then it just became a mess, and he took on too many people. And when you're doing that, it doesn't work. If you've got like, it's us against everyone else, yeah, it works. When you've got it's me against everyone, you're doomed to failure, and that was the beginning and the end for him. And I think if he can go to Spurs and get that siege mentality of we've never won anything, everyone's against us, and everyone thinks Arsenal are great, but they're not, and you know, tap into that stuff that Spurs fans will like. He could have success.
That'd be good. Him against Arsenal.
Sort of, yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can see him. You can see him picking on.
This ain't a Spurs podcast, so let's switch it back to that now. What a lot of people have been talking about since this has happened is Poch is now available. Will Woody get itchy? Now, me personally, I feel Woody is a knee-jerk guy. Yeah. So he will make a knee-jerk reaction. If Poch was in a job, if Poch was in a job and Ollie lost 2 games, he'd probably say, "Nah, I don't need to sack him. I won't sack him. I'm behind my man." But if there's a man available there, he'll probably start thinking, "Oh, maybe I should." But how do you guys feel about it? I feel like Poch needs time out anyway. Yeah. So I would give Ollie the season, at least, almost to like...
Give him the season, see what he's... given the season, if like I say, if we don't get European football, but he's laid the foundations for him, everything's good. The fans will still back Solskjaer, but if them upstairs just go like that and get him in, what can you do? But if they did it mid-season, there'll be a right
I think
revolt.
Poch needs a rest though, man.
He
I think
does.
mentally he must have.
He does.
I think you're right. He does need a rest. What makes me think, would he, like you say, yeah, he's sort of trigger happy and all the rest of it, is if someone else starts sniffing around Pochettino, if Bayern Munich or
I think he'll
someone,
end up at Bayern.
yeah, if they do, then and Woodward thinks this is my only chance. I mean, let's not forget, if you're manager of Manchester United, yeah, you're 3 losses away from being under pressure. You lose 3 on the trot, all of a sudden.
Well, we could lose against Sheffield United.
yeah. You know what? You're right. Yeah. Ollie now is at the point where he won.
And that isn't.
No, you're right.
Far away from.
No, it's not. It's not the most ridiculous thing you've suggested. They're above us in the table for a reason. So
You just can't trust him. Woodward.
I don't trust him. No.
So he's triggered happy. What did he say?
As a fan, do you feel like you want United to make that move for Poch?
No. We had the chance.
Would you take Poch?
I would, but not now. We had the chance to get him, but we didn't. I'm sticking with Solskjaer. I'm sick of chop change. So ever got? It's just a circle, and we'll get stuck in it.
Decreasing circles.
Yeah.
I feel like if Ali doesn't prove himself to be good enough this season, get him at the end of the year if he's available. But because you never know, I do feel like Ali might be out of his depth. But we have seen some improvement. You can't see some improvement and they'll be like, all right, just do one now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if he wins us the trophy, get us in the Champions League, finish 5th, then he go like that, I've done my bit, Mr. Woodward. There you go, that's it. If Solskjaer wants to do that...
And we're hearing things about like signings coming in from Erling Haaland potentially, Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, so, why rock the boat?
Sounds like a good director of football, don't know?
I think but that might be
Could they work together?
a way of...
There's no way Ali... That's a demotion.
Director of football.
You don't go from manager to... People have suggested 23 years, director of football.
Hey, what, club shop?
There's no way he
for a bit.
takes a demotion. That is embarrassing.
It depends how you do it. Remember like Bobby Robson at Barca when Van Gaal came in and he moved him upstairs.
But this ain't. He's not at the age to be moved upstairs.
I know. But if he's given money, if he's given a choice, like it's either this or nothing, he might just take it. And they say to him, "We want you to, you sort of sell it to him. We want you to oversee transfer policy, and you're going to be working with a manager, and you're going to be in charge."
He's going to have control. If that
happens,
he's going to have control, and Woodward would have to step aside. If they say to Solskjaer, you could be director of football, then go, I'm making my demands
Woodward
now.
doesn't step in anything aside.
Oh no, but that's it.
Do you feel it's disrespectful to be discussing this while Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still manager?
Well,
you're not going to avoid it, though, are you?
Well, that's the thing. You're going to have to talk about it, and I think the worst thing we can do is sort of trickle along and get a win, get a daft loss, and then we get a couple of wins again. Like that's what we're having to put up with, but that's also could be our downfall, because it's sort of like we're not really anywhere at the moment. At least if we were completely losing every game, you'd go, all right, well, there needs to be a change. Something is clearly wrong. Or if you're winning everything, you're going, well, something has to be right.
But the players are working for the manager. They're actually doing stuff right.
Yeah, I want Solskjaer to stay.
Well, like I say, it's the board.
To be
trigger happy, isn't it?
I would love Ali to be a long-term success here.
But then the whole talk of him being a yes man, and it's sort of everyone upstairs will go, oh, we'll only give you this. It goes, yeah, whatever.
Well, Jose was a yes man when he was here because he plenty of times spoke about how great Woodward was and how good the Glazers were and how they backed him with everything he wanted. It was only towards the end.
But that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean?
The difference is like he's happy to say yes to whoever's above and then go, yeah, but look what I can do with the players.
This is the thing, right? And people have this with Jose. Don't know. He stuck up to the Glazers. Know where you're coming from here when you say that, because you can't come into the job as Manchester United manager and just go, these owners are dickheads. Woodward's an idiot. They don't know what they're fucking doing. You know what I mean? I'm the anti-type.
But he didn't stick. I don't think he did stick up to them.
No, this is what I'm saying. They'll just be like, well, you can do one. It's not going to work out. So every manager that's come in has praised the owners or has sort of alluded to the fact the owners are all right. Fergie praised him. People forget that. Moyes didn't really comment on him. Van Gaal praised him and said that he get it. It's commercial and they look after that and all that. That's their
he hasn't since.
No, he hasn't since. To be fair, and Mourinho at first praised him. He said when he said I got 3 out of my 4 targets and I'm happy with that. When Perisic, I think, was the only one we didn't get. It wasn't until the end.
The first summer when we got Bailly, Pogba, and
Zlatan and Mkhitaryan. Yeah. So it wasn't until, like you say, the last summer where he'd had enough.
And I think everyone could see it was a problem of the board. Failure to back him.
It was the tour start of the season, wasn't it? It was the tour down under and all that. That press conference.
It was in America.
If you're a United fan, why would you want to watch that?
Remember the one in China where the games were getting cancelled and stuff?
Yeah, it was supposed to play City in China.
This is the thing, man. Like, I know it's not sort of connected, but everything just became a bit of a joke. Like, remember, like the bus at Old Trafford not getting there in time and him getting off the bus and storming to the stadium. It just becomes a mess. And this is what Spurs fans have got to look for.
Do you think he'll be better for actually having a house in London?
Yeah.
He's got
and living with his family. And
I think that's sort of goes on the radar sometimes.
Because living in a hotel room on your own, it must be bad for your mental health. No, I genuinely, like, this isn't me taking a dig at him.
No, I agree. Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all right for a little while, isn't it? Like, a weekend away or whatever.
Home is where the heart is.
And that's why he was watching Instagram and stuff, Pogba's, and then coming in and starting on people. It's like just sat there for hours on his phone, like rocking on the end of his bed. Yeah, like it's true, and like. Whereas if you got your missus next to you, your kids or whatever, you
adult channel you can buy.
Alexis Sanchez brought his dogs to the hotel. Remember, I had his dogs with him every night while he was at Old Trafford.
But he seems like a bit. I know it sounds like a contradiction, but he does seem like quite a family guy. Like he seems like his daughter and
that his son at Fulham and stuff.
Yeah, he does seem like he's quite close to his family. So it must have been hard. It would be hard spending all that time away, especially when on top of that you've got all the pressure that goes with being Manchester United manager. So it might make a big difference to him.
Maybe I don't know. It's weird.
I thought you were actually going to start feeling a bit sorry for him.
I don't feel sorry.
And I was a bit worried. I thought that's the road you're going down.
I don't want him to be a success at Spurs.
Raiding the minibar and just
because it'd be like. We should have got. You know, if it's a success,
I wonder what the Lowry.
Why didn't we get that Mourinho?
What was his bar tab at the Lowry during his time at United at the hotel? Must have been a lot.
Fucking God knows. But yeah, it'd be bad, wouldn't it, if he was a success at Spurs, like a proper success? Because
I think it could be.
Like they've
got a better team than us at the moment.
Fucking really fly at.
It's just when they've got to make that rebuild. Because when you look at him, Harry Kane up top.
He's got Chelsea after the.
It might work though because
Christian Eriksen. If you can get something out of him.
Because he can defensively.
I think Heung-min Son will be a real Jose player. Could he find something back in Dele Alli? Or, like, I can see him doing well with them, and I can see him also clashing.
Yeah.
Like, Danny Rose, probably going to have to check into rehab real soon. Like, do you know what I mean? Some of these players.
There's one, maybe he's like, I'm getting out of here. Danny Rose talks to the United players like that. You've had it at Tottenham, get out while you can. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know who's going to be fit for Spurs as well? Poor Bill Pogba. That's his comeback day. And that's, so I've already seen people on Twitter, but he's going to be fit for the game now. That's when he was supposed to be back anyway. But I can't wait.
It's written in the stars, that one.
Ego.
2 goals.
Do you know what I mean?
3 egos in the ground, and only one's going to come out on top.
Well, no, 2 could.
Oh, 2 egos against the one, you know. But if Tottenham won, would Mourinho conduct himself, or would he just go running down the touchline sliding?
I don't think, unless we were to boo him, I think he plays on how you react to him.
Would he do that to the director's box?
Juventus, he reacted to them for the Inter stuff.
Chelsea.
With Chelsea, he reacted to them when
free.
and then like, with us, we've always been very appreciative for what he did, like for Stockholm and that. So I don't, unless he does a mad thing and we start booing him and turning on him.
Was it when we played in 2000? Was it 9? We played him at Old Trafford. He got some stick, but he didn't react that night. He played along with it and had a bit of fun. Yeah,
he praised us when he was at Real Madrid, didn't he?
Everywhere he was
he said the best team lost.
He loved United. He really wanted that job.
Yeah,
he really wanted to do well.
But you know,
and I think now it's kind of like he wants to prove Woodward wrong.
A lot of points to prove in this game.
Will Ollie be here at the end? Will Pochettino ever be Manchester United manager?
No.
I think he'll be Manchester United manager this time next year.
Really? It's not. I mean, it's not the most ridiculous thing, is it? Could be, but I just don't know. I've
always said, I think Ollie might be out of his depth, but what he's doing in terms of the rebuild is going to be great for the next manager.
That's what I
It
keep
could be
saying
another
that.
Might
Mourinho. It
be
could be
that.
another Mourinho situation where it is a case of we're going to work with it in the background, let Ollie carry
Thing
on
is,
for a
though,
bit, and
well, mind you, Poch, he encourages youth, doesn't he? He like young players, and like I say,
it's not too dissimilar philosophy.
like I say,
really.
it might work, but I don't want him. If he's gonna come, take a year out. You know what I mean? Pep took a year out, didn't he?
Yeah, between Barca and Bayern.
Yeah, Pep
Did he?
took a year out. If it's a year, let him take a year out then.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that the
'Cause
Bayern Munich
he looks
move
drained.
seems
Look,
like
he looks
favourite.
drained now.
Yeah,
He's
Does.
gonna.
It seems to make a lot
Why
of
would
sense,
you
yeah.
want to work for Woodward and Glazers when you can work for a well-run football club that will win
Exactly.
the league every season?
Yeah, exactly. And he could go there and just.
Go Tottenham. He
End
could
his
go
trophy
Real
drought.
Madrid. He could go Barcelona.
It's weird that
If he goes Real Madrid, he'll be sacked by the end of the season.
Well, there you go. That's short-term solution.
but
Interesting, though. Anyway, moving on from that, Danny James is going to the Euros,
yes,
Yeah, watched it
as
last
is
night.
Ryan Giggs and any other.
Dylan
United
Levitt.
related- Dylan Levitt.
yeah.
Gareth Bale. Don't know. Might be a United player one day.
You never know.
Possible
It's been linked
Republic
to
of
him, so.
Ireland as well.
How
or
much? I think
Northern
you can get
Ireland.
Gareth Bale for £1 now after
reckon?
his little.
Was that
antics
true?
after
That
the
was that
game.
real? That picture?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
there's a flag. It
Madrid
said,
golf.
Golf, Wales, Madrid.
No, it said Wales, Golf, Madrid.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
That order.
I thought it was fake.
It's similar to the one that United have, United Kids Wife. That
Yeah,
order, which is one of my favourite banners. But that one, there's a video of him spotting it in the crowd. I don't know how it's made it to him, but it did. And then it's in that image.
Say how he's made it to him. He's gone and got it. And he's like, give me that here. Give me that here, son.
He's gonna got it
Hey.
off his dad who was holding it up.
Did
400
you bring
grand
that
a
flag?
week. And he's saying, well, he's not saying, he's holding up a flag which says that he prefers golf to Real Madrid. How would you?
play?
Can you imagine if that was Paul Pogba?
Mate,
I mean, you want to play
if Paul
football.
Pogba even
innit?
held a flag that just said France on it, United fans would lose their shit.
You were going on the radio this
Mate.
morning. Gareth Bale could go to Spurs now. It could be a match made in heaven. Bale could
He's
come-
on a
come back.
400 grand a week.
Is he going to get them wages though? At
He's
Spurs?
not getting them wages. Have you seen the wage structure at Spurs?
Yeah, it's
This
like,
is what's going to crack. Mourinho's going to crack. It's going to be amazing.
Well, let's say go back to Wales, but
Mourinho, when he goes in at Daniel Levy, he says, right, I've got some targets. Daniel Levy goes, that ain't happening.
Daniel Levy's going on holiday January the 1st.
Turn his
No
phone
way.
off.
Yeah, it's no way. It's
He's doing a Woodward.
and can you imagine if you're a Spurs fan that really defended Poch and really wanted him to get money to spend, that he never got to spend, and now Mourinho gets it all.
yeah. But like you say, Wales are at the
Mate.
Euros now, and it's really good. Ryan Giggs first two tournaments in 4
50,
years.
50 years.
50 years, yeah. Two come along just
Isn't
like
it?
that.
Last one was 1958
Yeah.
before.
Jimmy Murphy, the manager then,
Euros.
for him. Well,
Was
he,
it?
he was the manager of Wales in '58.
I never knew that, you know.
The
That's why.
nearest-
That's why.
the nearest they came-
He wasn't at Munich.
The nearest they
'Cause he
came was
was
the
at
94 World
qualifying.
Cup. They had to win at home against Romania, and they lost 2-1. And that was a chance to go to the 94. That was the closest they ever been before the last two
Paul
tournaments.
Balding missed the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. And Giggs was playing that night.
So, yeah. Do you reckon Giggs will come out of retirement?
Do you think Giggs has made? Do you think Giggs has done what he should have done, or has he overachieved? Because you look at it, they've got some good players: Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, but then they've got some very young
Previous
players: Ethan
manager, though.
Ampadu, Danny James,
For
some average
foundations,
players. What do you reckon? Guys, been quiet.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I think he's. I just think fair play to him. Like no one's. He's not completely taking it by storm. Like you said, he's got some decent talent there actually. So I think luckily to have those players come in at the time that they have done, and for Dan James to go to United and play like the way he has, I think it's one of them. It's a group of people that have come together at a certain time, and he's just be able to direct them in the right.
Because
way, I
throughout
think.
the campaign, almost every Wales game, even when they've won, there's been talk for Giggs to be out on Twitter. And like he's got them through to the second, his first attempt at it. I just feel like maybe that deserves a bit more respect.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, if you look at the squad from the previous Euros, who was the previous manager?
They had Chris Coleman. They had
Chris
a better
Coleman.
team
There was
back
the
then.
foundations were there, and like I say,
I think Gary Speed deserves a lot of credit as well.
yeah, Gary
He
Speed.
started it all, didn't he?
Yeah, Gary Speed, God rest him. You know what I mean? But in between, like they didn't do the World Cup. That's the ultimate to get to. But a tournament, Euros is fantastic, and like I say, it's only good for the Giggs CV, innit?
Yeah,
Will he
definitely.
be back at Man United one day?
Why not?
I think so.
Why not?
I don't think as
Do you
manager.
Yeah. He's still only young, yeah.
Unless we become a championship team or something.
Give it Giggsy in the summer.
Hey.
I can't.
Do you not
No,
think so?
I don't think
I'm
so.
not like nailed on, but it wouldn't surprise me if at some point he came back, even if it was just interim like Ollie did.
Yeah, but if Ole is successful, he might become part of the staff. You don't know. You don't know what the future holds.
No one's taking a step down. This is what I'm saying. You don't be a manager and say, all right, I'll be on your
Worked
coaching
out well
staff.
for him on the coaching staff last
Big
time.
moves, nuts like that. Like even with
He aged,
Ollie,
didn't he?
like saying, all right, Ollie,
He had
you
4
know,
games.
be director of football. He's gonna say, fuck off.
He
I can
had,
go be Molder manager and win the league every year. Do you know what I mean? It's like
It
Giggs
depends,
had,
it
Giggs had
depends
4
on the
games in
situation.
charge, didn't he? And he aged in about a week.
Do you remember after was it the whole game when we won the whole game 4-1? James Wilson.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Giggsy knows United, giving youngsters a chance,
And we lost
smashing
at
it.
home against
Yeah, we lost
Sunderland.
the whole game. Sunderland.
Lost
and it
to
was like-
Sunderland,
and then
yeah.
we drew the next one or whatever it was, and it was like
there was a great
actually,
away day at Southampton.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the last game of the season.
Yeah, City won the league and Liverpool
1-1.
didn't win it. Yeah,
Matt
that was a
scored.
great day.
Yeah.
And I
think-
We
there's,
won.
there's a video on the concourse that I made. It's just nuts. It's just there's one bloke. He's drinking his drink and he just throws it in his own face. Like there's so many different things going on in the video. It's one of the best aways ever. That
Mata
Southampton
scored that
away.
day, didn't
Yeah,
he?
it was a
That
great
sweet,
free kick.
Yeah, sweet free kick.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good day. That it was weird seeing Giggsy being United. Like when I was a kid, if you would have told me Giggs and Solskjaer are going to be United manager one day, I'd be like fucking hell,
Come on.
amazing.
Things you dream of, isn't it?
Can you remember seeing Giggs walk out in that suit, thinking?
It was
oh,
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, when it happened, I was like, bloody hell, you know, my premonition. Go for the laugh.
Is it just me though? Does Ollie look a little bit like Moyes from far?
Yeah.
On the dugout.
A cross
Football
between
looks
him
a
and
bit
Andy.
the same as well.
It's
It's like him and Andy Serkis, isn't it? It's like a cross.
Stress of the job, though, isn't it?
It made me laugh because if you look at him like, you know, pre-Paris, he's like fresh. He's still young. He's like, yeah, it's easy when you got good players. It's a piece of piss, this. Do you know what I mean? Give it to Pogba, that's my tactics. And then like fast forward a month later, and he looks like he's ready to jump off Barton Bridge. He just looks like he's lost the will to live, man. He's struggling. So yeah, he does have the touch of Moyes about him.
Yeah, it's a big game Sunday priority. Europa League shootout.
You think if we lose on Sunday, I know we mentioned this earlier, but it's back to Ollie out again in the media and
Mate,
on Twitter.
Even
and
last night, it was Ollie out as soon as Poch got sacked. I was seeing
Oh,
it.
someone
yeah,
kept
it
saying,
went
"Do you want
stupid.
Poch?" And I was like, "This is a bit disrespectful, you know."
Poch got sacked, and immediately people were like, get him at United, get Ollie out. Now we can get a real manager in. I'm like, fucking hell.
It's like being married and saying,
the
"Would you
so-called
marry her?"
fans, you know what I mean? The
Shit, I
so-called
might if I get a divorce, but right now,
Right now, I'm
the so-called fans will still piping on about it, you know what I mean? But like you see, if you're backing Ollie, you're backing Ollie. Like you say, but the powers that be, he's trigger happy and he upstairs.
He is under a lot more pressure now, though.
What did he say the other day?
He is.
Did you see? I seen the quote you put online. We have made significant investment.
mate.
Yeah, my mate. We've made significant investment in the last 3.5 years.
Best thing about that quote.
One summer, mate. One
but
summer.
that
it was.
actually, you've just brought me to a great point there, Andy. The debt has risen by 157 million pounds
Exactly.
or something around that.
Yeah.
Now,
Dodgy.
considering that, you know, what the fuck is that doing?
Taking loads of money out of the
Siphon,
club.
they're just taking out.
The money in
15 million,
football is the
15
highest
million
it's ever
quid each,
been.
I think.
Manchester United's commercial reach is the highest it's ever been. We spent in the last 2 summers
And
we
that's
haven't spent
60
a
million?
Great amount. We spent 70 mil on this summer, 70, 80 mil. Last summer about 50 mil.
Yeah.
So it's not like we spent great amounts of money, and the debt has
Like
risen.
I said it. When the Bucks, if they leave and whoever takes over, or one day if they ever leave, if the Bucks become available, you will see the accounts have been ravaged.
The books are available, Andy.
No, but no, it's not. There's something dodgy about them.
There's not. Do you know what? There isn't actually something dodgy. They're doing it in broad daylight.
It's all legal.
They are
They're literally taking millions out and
millions of pounds out of the club in front of everyone, and going, "Fuck all you can do about it because we own this club now."
It's legal.
So you're right. They are. It's not dodgy. It's legit. It's horrible.
If something happened,
It's morally
the
something's
banks-
wrong with it.
Yeah, if something happened, no, we won't fold or anything. The banks will take control, won't they? The creditors.
It's not. I don't feel like United is still worth.
Of course, the name itself, but
Is a lot.
he says it's a manageable debt. Before they come in, we didn't have any debt in the entire history of our club.
It's the whole thing about them giving, was it like 15 million to their kids or something?
Yeah, but they all take 15 million each, don't they, all the siblings?
That's what I mean. But you're like,
the reason it's manageable.
That's regardless of what we're.
You've got a daughter. Anyway, you've got the daughter taking out loans using United as collateral, and it's not on.
Cholesterol.
Collateral.
Oh, the reason it's so. I forgot what I was going to say now, Andy.
You're gonna say how you love the Glazers, and fair play to them, the business people, and as long as we keep getting them noodle sponsors, we're all happy.
No, because it's the debt's obviously rising. They're taking money out of the club, which is happening obviously. Like, it's all legal. It's just morally it's not right. They have absolutely done a move on us, but it's never gonna stop. It's never gonna change.
But that's what's frustrating. There's nothing you can sit there and there's no amount of. Anything you can do.
Unless we get new owners in,
do you know what the best thing
going to come in?
About that conference call was? They have that quarterly conference call, don't they? And then it's any questions. And it was like, there was one question about, we're going to see more adverts on the app.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, that was the question, I think. And
we're going to see more full-time Devils content on their app. Because that's what it seemed to fucking rip off. Oh, yeah, we'll get in an ex-full-time Devils presenter.
Yeah,
and we'll just copy everything they do.
We'll do a podcast now.
Jesus, wet.
You know what? If they want to square things...
They did something with huge debates, they're doing that.
Do you know, if they want to be totally honest, why don't Ed Woodward face us?
Yeah,
he never
neutral
will.
Zone, neutral zone.
He never will.
I know he never will.
It's that big man mentality. He's just not.
What happened the other day was, I approached him. He was getting into a car with security. At what ground was it at?
Norwich.
No, it wasn't.
Was it Norwich?
It wasn't Brighton,
Newcastle?
was it?
Not Newcastle.
Was it Norwich?
Was it Norwich? Norwich. And he was getting into his car, so I've gone up to him, like with the mic, just ready to. Because remember when I said if I see him again, I'm just going to doorstep him.
Yes, good lad.
No fucking around. I've gone up to him. Straight away, security's coming between us, so it's like, fuck's sake. And these are like SAS geezers that will kill you, like just by touching your neck. Yeah. And then he's gone like, oh, I like what you guys do. Get in touch and I'll speak to you. It's like, bruv, you can speak to me right now. And then scarpered. And it's like, he will only speak to you
on his terms.
Like he spoke to, was it United We Stand?
Yeah.
And Andy Mitten.
Yeah.
Andy Mitten's a journalist, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Manchester United fan, yes, but he's also a very credible journalist. He's not going to rock up and speak to me holding a mic. No. He's not going to speak to you. He's not going to speak to any fans like that.
If it's controlled, it's got to be on his terms. That's not right.
But I do think Andy asked him some important questions. And it's not to say Andy didn't do his job, because Andy clearly did do his job. He asked him the right questions. It's just that his answers
didn't make sense.
It's just like, they're hollow, do you know what I mean? It's like, unless there's signs of improvement or signs of wanting to get out of this. And you look at it, our wage bill's gone down. I know it's the records we showed for last year, it was up, but that's including Sanchez and stuff. So we've stripped our wage bill. We're not spending as much. Like, it was clear, like, what the hell? Like, it's just mental.
Yeah, it's a nonsense, you're right. But again, it goes
how
back
can
to
we
what
possibly rebuild to get to that point again? And it's like, until, this was the point I wanted to make earlier, until the debt is manageable until the point that this TV bubble bursts, or, you know, something like the Premier League money dries up. Because then when that dries up, you're fucked. That's when you are fucked.
Yeah.
No, yeah, BT have got the Champions League now for the next, was it 1.2 billion? It's a joke. Absolute joke.
Because if that debt keeps rising, or gradually rising, and just say in 4 or 5 years, TV deal fucks.
It's mad as well, because if you look at them 14 years since the Glazers took over, that's had a lot of on-the-pitch success during that time.
8 years,
and
that's
yet,
it.
That's still where it is.
No, but Gary Neville came out and said the other day.
That's what worries me.
Gary Neville, wrong again, by the way. Come out. No, this ain't even me taking a dig, because it's quite disrespectful, actually, for him to come out and say that. He came out and said, when we were winning things, it all went quiet. And that's bollocks, Gary.
He
because no, it didn't all go quiet. We beat AC Milan 4-0, may I add. And we still protest that day. That was one of the biggest protests ever.
With the green and gold scarf.
We were winning league titles, and we were protesting. 2009, where we Champions League final, winning the league. So why were we protesting in 2010 if it all went quiet when we were winning?
Last day.
And I just feel like, Gary, you're making yourself appear like you're out of touch with the fan base. You were actually present for that.
Yeah.
In the squad. You were captain of the team, for fuck's sake. And you didn't realise that we were protesting even when we were winning. And I just feel like for someone that likes to appear like they're really close to the club, I've got a hotel here and, you know, fans can come to it and all this, that and the other. Really and truly, you're not. You're out of depth with the fan base. And it was just really disappointing to him say that, because it's almost like...
But it goes back to, like, if you're pissed, if you're Gary Neville and you're swinging it the other way and you're going at the owners and stuff, like, they're never gonna... They're just going to go, oh, we'll do one then. It's like having people...
Gary's got to maintain this...
It's an image now, isn't it?
He's a Sky Sports pundit. He's got to balance the books.
Why does he have to maintain
Jamie
his
Carragher?
I don't know. Jamie Carragher's spot on the money.
It's not that he has to. I know there's definitely lots of footballers that probably go, it's just easier for me to keep quiet.
Carragher said the right things, though, didn't he? A few weeks ago, he said that exactly what Gary Neville should have been saying. It's the owners, they're destroying the club. Is it Joe Cole on BT Sport? Peter Crouch, they said the thing. Yeah. He said everything. It's part of Manchester culture, and it's morally, it's not fair. Yeah. And like I say, Gary Neville, and I'm going to say this, like, you can fucking ball at me if he can't. He's on the corporate side now. He's got an image to maintain.
Do you think there is an element of that? Do you think there's an element of, you know, Nicky Butt's employed a club, he's stuff like obviously close to him? Do you think there was an element of hotel
surely
football?
Wouldn't you want to...
Hotel
football. Well, like you say with the whole trigger finger sort of thing, you'd be happy
Wouldn't you want to defend your friends? Defend Solskjaer? Defend, but by saying that maybe these issues aren't their fault.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than saying that, oh no, actually, you know.
He's always a bit of a contradiction to me, Gary Neville, because he's obviously a United fan. I'm not disputing that, but then, you know, you buy another club and the whole Salford thing. Don't get me started on that. And then, you know, you don't call out the Glazers when practically, you know, you just listed a load of scousers who've done it. Carragher, Crouch,
I mean,
Joe
we get
Cole.
criticised for not calling out the Glazers, even though if you
you
YouTube search the word Full-Time Devils and the Glazers, or Full-Time Devils and the word Woodward, you will see. I was moaning about them before I started Full-Time Devils, but when I started Full-Time, I was moaning about them.
I was moaning about them before they took over.
Last day of this 2009-10 season, where was it, playing Stoke? We're still chasing Chelsea for the title, and there was a mass protest at Old Trafford. He even attacked the megastore. It got really bit nasty before kick-off. I remember it, and they had that big banner, "Forever in your debt, Glazers." Do you remember it? All going all across the United way, and took a picture of it. So, like you say,
the thing is, though, ultimately, they don't care.
No.
Ultimately, they don't.
It's more stressful when you've got something you can't do anything about.
No, it's something you love.
Well, yeah, but ultimately it's just put up and shut up.
No, but the thing is, it's like a pet. It's like your pet. You can see it getting hurt and hurt and hurt, and it's fuck all you can do about it. And the bastards are like, them upstairs, like, oh, we'll treat it. It will now again. It perks up, then it goes down. You know what I mean? So it's
but
bollocks.
I do think Ali has kind of instilled some direction into it.
Mm-hmm.
But with Woodward coming out like it was his plan, is what pisses me off. It's like you're acting like you planned this.
You said that, was it last month? I watched your podcast on YouTube, and you said you taking credit for something. You said you can't take the criticism, Woodward. Get out. You know what I mean?
Take the credit, but not take the criticism.
Yeah, you can't take the criticism.
But that sort of sets him.
You can't criticise me.
It sets himself up for, like, if we were to go and get Pochettino, it's like, well, that's in my plan as well. It was never Ollie's plan. I told you that it was all in my plan, so I can go and get any manager I want. It was our plan.
We monitored Dan James for about 6 years. Load the fucking bollocks.
6 years.
You know what I mean?
He joined us when he was 12.
Yeah.
No, but I've heard that. He allegedly said that, and if that's true...
That's nonsense, because Leeds almost signed him if it wasn't for a bit of a clerical error.
We've monitored him for years. Oh, go away. I know I talk gobbledygook, but bloody hell, lad.
Yeah, he does talk shit, doesn't he, Woodward?
It's like you say, though. He's like, you know, you've got a prime example of, you know, you're trying to approach him, he's got his security around him.
Yeah, this isn't probably helping getting us.
I've heard him
speak. Watching it. Please do join this frenzy. But like you say, he's in a bubble and he's not, you know, how much... You might get the odd chant or whatever, but by and large, he's kept away from it.
They don't care as well.
Yeah, and you know, with the 4 million he's getting a year.
And I mean, if you're not going to be deterred by the 2005 protests, which there were obviously protests in 2010 which were massive, but 2005 they were really vicious.
I mean, mate,
if that isn't going to turn you away,
what more can you do than start another fucking football club in protest at it? to literally say.
See, but not everyone. I
not,
can't do that.
No,
it's
I get that. But that is a massive
I can't support
protest.
another team, and it's like one thing I do agree with Gary Neville by is something that he written in his autobiography, which was no matter who's in the director's box, who's in the shirt, what division we're in, like we're always gonna be there, and it's like. That's what our job is as a supporter, as a fan. Is we've always got to be there, regardless.
No, it's love, innit? It's love. It's the love that kills you.
Well, it's like we've said it all along. We were here before they were, and we'll be here long after they've gone. And it's difficult because I don't like the Glazers and I hate what they're doing to the club, but I'm not going to stop going.
It's like with the Saudis. If they come in, I'd be morally against them, everything they stand for, but still go to the game. Like I can't.
I'll just have to delete a few tweets if they take over.
The trophies are coming in. The trophies are coming in. The trophies are coming in. Who's going to be? There's going to be United fans who say we're not asked as long as we're performing. The trophies are coming in. We're matching them across the town. We're matching them down the East Lancs. That's all that matters to most fans. I know morally it's wrong.
I don't think that's the case. I think that's what matters with.
Matters to me.
A younger generation of fans. But I think there's some fans, and I think a large majority of maybe the match-going fans even, that are maybe longer in the tooth.
At me. I've been going since 1985.
We'll be like, nah, this isn't right. Like, it doesn't sit right with me, do you know what I mean? Like, we criticise the Russian investment and the Roman money and all that stuff into Chelsea, and we criticise City. Can we do the same? And it's kind of like that.
That's what I mean.
You've got these guys that are morally bent and are just draining the life out of the club.
Is you making a moral statement going to affect it still going on though?
I'll give you one example of good owners. Mention the Liverpool owners who took over from, was it Gillette Hicks?
I love Gillette Hicks.
They've not taken a penny out of Liverpool. They've not from what.
Well, they probably have, but
John
not
as
much. But not. I'm not talking like $1 billion. They've taken what they need to take, but they've backed and they've invested, and look where the Scousers are now.
No, but what they get, what John Henry gets, and he did it with the Boston Red Sox, is he understands the idea of if you have success on the pitch, you'll make more money.
Yeah, but
you can almost have your cake and eat it, and if you invest in the right way, and your global brand gets bigger and you earn more money, then you can take more money out. So he is a businessman. He's not. This is a myth that he's some scouser. He's a fan. He's not. He just realises that to have
the stadium now.
To have the success on a pitch will give him more money. He did it with Boston and he's done it with Liverpool. What our owners don't understand,
they'll never invest in Old Trafford,
is they're getting money anyway without necessarily having lots of success on the pitch. So they don't need to have that level of investment. So people say, "Oh, you spent loads of money," but there's times when we needed to spend a bit more.
Yeah, they'll carry on doing it. Oh, we're not making top four. Just spend a little bit, it gets in top four. We'll finish fourth. Yeah, that's good. We track for the season.
That's not the case now. And if you look at it, you look at City, Liverpool, Chelsea are getting better. You never know how Mourinho will get on at Spurs. There's more competition.
Whoever takes over
so even if you spend a little bit of money, are you going to get top four? Because everyone can spend money. And I think it's more about how the culture of the club is, how you run. And everything. I don't think it's just about chucking money at it. We've seen what chucking money at things does.
Well, like you're saying there with Liverpool, they had a plan, didn't they? A long-term plan, and they were buying players before Klopp even arrived that would suit Klopp.
Yeah,
they were scouting players.
Salah, like I tell you how they. Yeah, like, I've read the article on Salah again in the Athletic. Like when they got Salah, their director of football, sporting director, who was like he knew what Klopp needed. He'd done the research. I think they used stats a lot as well, and also coaching and stuff. And then they were like, Klopp, this is the player for you. He was, I don't want him.
Yeah.
Like, nah, this is the player for you. This is what you want. This is what he does. And look how good he is. And I think it's just like having that direction as well, consistently above the manager. Of course, the manager should have an input on the players he's signing, but also there should be that,
It's the same with City. It's the same there with Beggy Stan. They brought him in. He works with Pep before, and again, he knows the sort of players that Pep likes, and he can make that happen. But at United,
we haven't got one. We haven't got a director, so we never will.
You had Mourinho with his own ideas, Van Gaal with his own ideas, Moyes with his own ideas, and Ole with his own ideas. And you've not got that consistent thread that you've got at the other clubs that's working for him. Do you know what I mean? And it could get a lot worse as well if Leeds get taken over and come up.
Well, we are announcing the winner of our competition that we did as well. What were we giving away again?
A mug.
Yeah, one of them new Andy Tate mugs.
FullTimeDEVILS Andy Tate mugs. Yeah.
The link's in the description if you want to buy one. But someone has won one today, and we'll be giving the name out for that right after the Wallies of the Week. I am mad at Mckola.
I can't really think of any this week. It's been a quiet week, hasn't it? Oh, I'm talking. I've not thought. I'll tell you what. I tell you what. The debate last night with the general election with the.
You gone political again?
Yeah.
I was saying to myself, we're not going political today.
I don't like it when I go political because you always take it a step further.
I'm not going political today. So we're not going political today. We're not allowed.
I am going, but it's not.
No, we're not going political today.
Oh, mate, can't do it.
Do it on your own platforms.
I don't know. I can't say.
You don't have to be football, but let's not go political. Bloody hell again. But don't vote Tory. But don't go political. Go on.
I'll go Ed Woodward again because I don't. You know what I mean.
Daniel Levy for sacking Poch.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll go with that instead. Yeah, I'll go with that.
I don't know. I think there's a trail of thought that maybe it was time for him to go. He wasn't happy. The players weren't happy. The results were patchy at best. The results since the back end of last season, I know he got to the Champions League final, but if you look at it, there's a lot of losses in the league and in the cups and all the rest of it. Had he had enough? Poch almost had enough, and I don't know. Maybe he had. He didn't seem happy. So I don't know. I get where you're coming from. I don't know if I'd go with Levy. I'm gonna go with Gareth Southgate.
What?
I don't know, man.
What happened?
Sick of all this loving with Gareth Southgate all the time. Everyone loves him all the time and all this shit. I'm sick of it.
A certain flag.
No.
For dropping Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, that'll do. No, I don't really care about that. I don't know.
Should Raheem Sterling? It's mad that we've forgotten
about
that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Actually, you've helped me out there because I was just randomly saying Gareth Southgate. But yeah, I don't think
he should have stamped on by Roy Keane all the
years ago. I don't forget. Shit. The streets never forget. I thought he handled it really badly.
Do you think Raheem should have been dropped for that?
No. Mate,
I think if he does, you've got to drop Gomez as well. You've sort of got to take the situation away from the rest of the team and go, well, that was your spot. This is the team. You either do both or none.
The thing is, though, the press are going to catch on to this, and they'll bring it up every England international now, and they'll build it up to the Euros. There's trouble in the squad, and it could, like I say, if City won the league, it could.
I think that's something that could have been kept behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Remember when John Hartson kicked Old Berkovic on the floor?
Yeah.
That was good fun. Why can't we have them back? Wally of the week. Do you know what Wally of the week is? Actually?
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's good shit.
I'm going to go Levy purely because it's halfway through a season. I'm very much behind just giving them a season, let them finish the campaign, and then.
But he's had 5.
He has. Well, and a half. I don't know. I'm just never a fan of, even if they're not losing every game horrendously.
Consistently top 4.
It's just, I think a new campaign, new start. I think that's just.
They're only 2 points behind us, aren't they?
Who's Spurs?
Yeah.
If you look at Tottenham over the last few years, they came, was it 2016? Was it 4 or 5 games to go? They were on that 4 points behind Leicester. Following season, they were chasing the league again. FA Cup semi-final against us.
I thought this was a Mourinho scarf.
What if?
Mate, as if. Don't worry about that.
What if for Tottenham it could have been last 4 years?
Where do we stand now? Is Mourinho enemy?
Is he an enemy? Nah, man.
He is. December the 4th, anyway. My Wally of the week is Spat Nation. Wally of the world.
Go on.
Let the youngers go. Do you know what Spat Nation is?
Nah, mate,
No.
I'm a middle-aged man. Come on.
Hold tight, the Exposer.
Right.
It's a church.
Right.
First of all, nothing to do with the religion.
Right.
But these guys there, like, recruiting kids, making them take out loans and all this stuff, and give it to the church, which doesn't go to the church because it's not a real church. It goes to like this guy called Pastor Toby, and like it's mental. Do your research.
Has he got a TV channel?
Let the youngers go.
Is he on telly?
No.
All right. No, I thought it was like one of the evangelical.
He's got a Lamborghini with the number plate Pastor. That tells you all you need to know about
him. Is this in America?
No, it's in England. It's happening on our own doorstep. No one cares because it's young black kids.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Get me?
Right. Well,
so that's where we're going with that. Fuck Pastor Toby.
Pastor Toby.
Back Nation.
We're not going into politics, but religion.
No, it's not religion though, because they are a cult. They're not
a religion. It's a repossessive Lamborghini.
When you listen to them, they never talk about Jesus once.
Oh, is it one of them?
It's one of them.
Like Reverend Jim Jones.
It's just like really.
What Wonga.com.
Is it like send me your money and you're gonna go to heaven and all?
Yeah, it's really weird. So yeah.
You take out a loan, you will go to heaven.
Nation, let the youngers go.
There you go. I'm gonna have a look.
And there's this guy on YouTube called The Exposer.
Yeah.
you need to subscribe. He needs a Netflix series.
The Exposer.
Like he's fully like he's someone that's within the church
Right.
that is exposing everything right now. Like,
Got to be careful googling that though.
No, it's on YouTube. It's that YouTube channel.
Just randomly googling exposure.
Exposer, yeah.
Now, people need to know about this, man. It's mental.
I'm gonna check that out
It's
anyway.
absolutely
Expose.
mental.
It's more better.
So there you go. It'll be on Netflix next year. Will be.
Good stuff,
You might
man.
be.
And you know what's going to be on Amazon next year?
Tottenham
Jose and
Tottenham.
Poch. How great is that? Oh God.
So they've done that. Have they done the Spurs one with Poch?
So it's halfway through now.
Right.
They had one with
That's
Sunderland
some
as
good
well.
shit. That
Yeah,
innit?
You've done one with Sunderland as well.
That was
as
actually
well
quite
as
good. That
City.
Sunderland
I've
to
not
like
watched
guy.
that.
It was
The
really
Sunderland
good.
one, yeah.
Sunderland one's good.
Yeah, they got
I
relegated.
should watch it. Fucking hate him.
Mate,
It's like a big build
Yeah.
up to them like staying up and no, they didn't.
when Darren Gibson getting injured ruins your season, that's when you know you're in deep shit.
Jack Rodwell's gone off the rails.
Yeah,
No.
Jack Rodwell.
Oh,
We used to have
yeah.
such a good relationship with Sunderland. We sent them Johnny Evans,
I know,
Danny
we were like
Welbeck,
mates, you know what I mean? Mckola was there. We
Yeah,
were
is
like,
that
yeah.
2012
Dwight
thing?
York.
Oh, yeah.
And when he
course.
played defensive midfield
Brown.
for Trinidad and Tobago at the World Cup, Dwight
Mate,
York.
Dwight York, man.
That was a weird one, mate. England played and beat them 4-0, I think.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
We need to announce this winner of the mug anyway.
Go on, then.
It is. Can we get a drum roll, someone? Is that a drum roll?
It's the best I can do with me.
You're an actor.
mouth.
Can you
Come on,
act
yeah,
like
go
you're
on.
a drum set?
That's
just
more a
what he
car.
did.
Come on,
It's
Andy.
crap.
I'm like
That's
a
a
helicopter.
Fuck's
There,
going on?
Wolf.
Anyway, that failed.
Just get the lion roaring.
Hang on a minute. Can we not just get one on my phone?
So we bet. Yeah, go on.
Hang on a minute.
Be quick, yeah.
Sorry, we'll edit it. Don't worry. Don't have to be quick. Right. What line is pressure?
I'm waiting for the.
Sounds like Nickelback.
Oh, I can't
You're
do
gonna
it.
go.
I'll just do that with my mouth.
Wicked. Honadeep Singh has won. He commented, "I've been subscribed to Full Time Devils since they started."
Wow.
Me and Jay were here day one, you know.
Day one, mate.
Day one, guys. I'll prove it.
We were.
Check out the Reading preview.
He did the
in November.
preview. I did the review.
Exactly.
He beat me by 3 days.
Exactly. Oh, Honadeep needs to prove it. Yeah, we do actually need to see
Yeah,
proof Honadeep.
deep, come on.
Podcasts are good too. It's good to see the channel grow and deliver professional content.
Yeah.
A lot of goods in there. Just good.
Are you criticising?
Can we get him on?
Sorry, man.
Can we
This
get him on?
guy's proper praised us for our last 6 years of
Can
work.
we get him on?
And
I
you're
don't
like,
know where he is,
only
Andy. Like,
Ask him
Yeah.
where
he might
is
not
and
want to
message
come
him.
in.
Yeah, he might just want to watch from afar.
We can't message. Yeah, so basically, if you are Honadeep Singh, we can't message you back because the way you've left the review is through iTunes. So please, can you leave a message under the YouTube comments, and we'll get back to you. Just drop your email address or something, and we'll get there. Yeah.
On a WhatsApp.
It's a bit dangerous that. Edit. Don't drop your real address in the
No,
YouTube comments.
Got WhatsApp
Just-
as well. Messages through
Beat me a
WhatsApp.
pin or
That's your
something.
phone number, Andy.
No. Full-time Devils have WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, we've got a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Is that a way that he could tell us is the winner?
Yeah, we'll work it out.
No, we've got to do it. We've got to tell him now. We've got to tell him work it out.
Can't he edit his comment, his review?
No, you can't edit reviews.
Oh, can you not? Right, yeah.
Just leave a comment below and we'll reply to it and we'll
Yeah.
sort it out. So yeah, make sure you get your comment in, Honadeep Singh. And if you don't, then it looks like I've got a free mug. So thank you. Make sure you keep it locked to Full Time Devils. Make sure you like and comment and sharing and subscribing. We're on Spotify, we're on Audio Boom, we're on SoundCloud, we're on iTunes, we're on a few other things. Deezer, is it?
These are, yeah, I think
Because
so.
Audio Boom puts it out to loads of different
it goes out
places,
everywhere,
doesn't it? And I think on Audio Boom we've had a lot of listeners as well, which it didn't. I thought like iTunes and Spotify were the main thing.
No, I think Audio Boom's, yeah, it's taking over.
So
Yeah,
so
got
keep
that.
it locked, subscribe, leave your reviews. Thank you to Gary. What were you again? What was it?
Thespian.
Thespian.
Thespian, there you go. Very cultural.
Thank you
on
to
this show.
Jay, and thank you to Andy. No thanks to Spac Nation, and make sure you keep it locked to Full Time Devils.
Toby.
Like, share, and subscribe. We are out.